Let me just show you something else I'm on with for another little project. These are ventilation grills and they're white, and where they're going they're going to look horrible white, so I've turned them into anthracite. So the RAL colour of the windows and doors is 7016 anthracite grey. So I went to a company, got them to mix me up an aerosol. So I've got some plastic primer, and I've washed and degreased these grills. So I'm going to give them a blast of this plastic primer, and then that's me anthracite. So what I've got to make sure that I do is also get all the underneath of the louvers, because when these are on the wall and you look up, if you don't get the underneath of the louvers, you see them white. So I've got to make sure it's all fully covered, and when you spray you also just need to think about which bits to spray first, so that you don't put paint on the easy bits, then you go to try and do the difficult bits, and when you're doing the difficult bits you put in more paint on the easy bits and it ends up running. Little is more. Let's do the backs first and underneath the louvers. Quite lots of nuts and crannies. In the front. Yeah, so just while I'm waiting for this first coat of primer to dry, I made myself a washing line, look. So for painting these on, I've just hooked it around a window handle, just some cord. Comes round the corner and it's fastened round a sweeping brush handle. Then my scaffold board is stopping my sweeping brush falling over. And then to get me to a comfortable height, I propped it on a piece of wood. And it works perfect, in my opinion. So my sequence to paint these grills doesn't mean to say it's the right way, it's just my way. So what I plan on doing is painting that flat bar first in there, then doing the underneath, then doing them flat pieces inside, and doing the top. Then I'm going to do this ring there, that flat face. Then I'm going to do the flat side of these louvers, because that's the back. Then I'm going to go to the front. I'm just going to give that a little tickle on them flat bits there and there. I'm going to do in here, I'm going to do this in there, then I'm going to do this ring, then I'm going to do the louvers, I'm going to do this flatty bit here round, and then I'm going to go to the back and do the back side of that top ring. Like I say, I might be over fussing, but that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to enjoy it, because I just did these other two, like I say, and they've turned out alright, and I enjoyed doing it. I'm just going to do the last one, and then I'll give that 20 minutes or so, and then I'll put another coat on, and job's a good one. Considering they were white before. When you're looking up, you won't see anything. I'm pleased with them. Right, on to the next project. Well, I've got an helping hand coming up. My son says he'll come up for a few hours and help me shift a load of soil. So, just gonna get my boots out my car and we'll go get ready. Right, so what we're gonna do, got all this soil here, soil there, soil here, I've got soil down here. It doesn't look much, but I bet there's 3 ton maybe, and I've got to find places for it to go. So I'm gonna go and scatter it all under my trees up there. Let's go see where we can. I've got somewhat I've started to scatter in there. It's just going around the garden trying to find places. Let's go and have a look. Oh. I'll rake all this back, shift me logs, I can get quite a bit in here. I'll put them there for bugs to live. Get quite a bit under there, you know, around here. If I shift that, I can get a bit in there. Look, I'll get a bit there. I'll get a bit in here. I filled all these places up over the years, look. Oh, I can get some in there. Oh, ferns are a bit worse. I think we're doing all right. We'll easily get this. I best go get a rake and just rake all the wood bits off the trees back, so that when we've put the soil on, I can put the wood, all the bits of woody stuff off the trees on top of the soil, and nobody should ever know we've done it. Fingers crossed. Chris's birthday tomorrow.
Chris.
And Tristan, yeah, Tristan. His birthday tomorrow, and tonight we're doing this, and then we're going for Chinese meals and prostitutes.
Brilliant. I love it. That's a proper incentive.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Shame we don't have a couple more buckets while we're walking up and down. You could be filling 2. I've got one more. Yes. Drink it, you can have...
No, literally, I've got a full
right,
lemon
James,
in the car.
James says, can I have a drink and a rest because you're working us too hard? And I said no.
I don't want one.
So I said no, not yet. Anyway, I thought I've mellowed, so I've made James a drink. Been good, look, been good,
Honestly,
made him
I
a
don't need
drink.
one. I've got a full thing.
So Tristan, do you want a drink, Tristan?
No, fair.
No, I've got one in the car. So I just bought myself a drink without making Tristan one. So he comes round, takes me a bloody drink. Right, you can have that drink, Tristan.
I've got a full thing in the car, literally.
Yeah,
I didn't
So
mean-
why
I
are you
just-
taking
I
my
just
drink and
didn't
making me
like-
feel
I've
bad?
always done one anyway, so I took it.
Have you heard her? It's beggar's belief.
Oh, that bird's back.
What she said, and then next minute she's just going, will it? And I'm like, oh.
Let's come back as a bed. Can I just ask you a question? Why have you got a drink out your van and you want that made? Is it because you think I'm dirty or my kitchen's dirty?
No, this is brilliant. No, you're right. No, it's even nice and clean. No, it's a waste. It needs drinking. It's got lemon juice in it. Squeezed lemon in it.
Yeah, but there's fresh orange in that. But you won't have anything out of your kitchen. Come on then.
See where I get the dry,
wow.
yeah. See where I get the dry tool.
You're chunky. You must have some bagels in you.
Yeah, come here.
Kitty's little face.
Morning. It's stupid o'clock, and I'm a cup of tea before I start. And what I'm gonna be doing today is concreting these shed bases. If I get these bases in, I can just tidy up some more around the area. I can finish my drainage, because if I dig my drainage down the back now, I'm going to collapse where my shed bases are, and just a bit more digging and being untidy. So they want concreting, so I'm going to get them into a level, and then I can sort out all my air source heat pump base and some retaining slabs what I want to put in, and just get down one side, not finished but tidied up a lot more. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do with my shed bases. This is just my way, this is just what I want to do, and it suits me. There's lots of ways you can do shed bases. Whatever suits you is your way. That's the right way. So just because I'm doing it this way might not suit everybody, but I'll show you anyway. So that's me brickwork up the house, and that's me DPC, that red line, and my paving is going to be 2 course below my DPC with a gravel strip at the end. So what I'm doing, I'm putting in a concrete footing, then either a brick or a block laid flat dry, that'll be sat on top of that footing, and then I'm going to have a 6x2 frame. And what I want is that 6x2 not sat touching any ground. So ideally I want this brick 25mm above that paving flag. My ground level I'll probably put, you know, maybe 25mm below the paving, so the timber will work out at 50mm above the ground. Why I don't want it much higher than the paving is, if you're building a step in your garden, you'd normally put a brick on edge and then a paving slab on top, and that's about 6 inches, and that's a nice step to be climbing up. It just works comfortably. You know, if you wall a brick flat and then a slab, it's too low. It's not as comfortable. If you wall 2 bricks flat and then a slab, it just feels too high. So a brick on edge and then your slab is perfect. So I don't want to lift this timber too high above the ground, because the timber's 6 inch, and the higher I lift it above the ground, the higher step to get into the shed and more awkward. So that's just my way of thinking. You know, if you want to do it different, whatever suits you. So I'm putting my shed on concrete foundations because it suits me and because I want to. There's various other ways of doing it, but I just find this quick and easy, and it suits my way of building. You've just got to think
that about the ground, what you're sitting it on. You know, if you were deep in the ground, if you were building a house, you'd have this footing deep in the ground to protect from frost even, that lot. It's just a shed. So I'm, well, that's the right mentality. So, so in my head, it's just a shed. So when I dig down, I don't want the bottom of the foundation to be on anything black, because that's soil and it's not going to carry the weight as good. You want to be down onto clay or something sandy and gravelly if you can. And then you just need to also think about the size of your foundation, because if you get your finger on the ground, because it's only a small, the end of your finger is only small, put that on the ground, you can push your finger in. Whereas if you put a 3x2 paving slab on the ground and push it in, it won't go. So the bigger the surface area, you've got less pressure on the ground. And if your ground's wet or anything like that, you know, that the bigger foundation you put in, the less bearing pressure it puts on. So you just need to think about that when you're doing it. Let me show you some what I did before on a couple of other sheds. I'd have to excuse the wire. It was for some Christmas lights. So under there's a big concrete foundation, and I've got a block sat on top of that foundation dry, and then I've got some blue engineering bricks, and then I've got my timber base. It's higher at this end because my ground slopes down, but at the other end it's just a nice step in, so you don't want your slabs too high out the ground. I did some other ones down here which were a lot bigger. There's another base what I did. So under there's a big concrete foundation, got some blocks in, and then the top ones just laid on dry. So what I've done now, I've just squared these up and bottomed them out, just got them down to a level. Why? Just get out the sun. Why I don't bottom them out until the day I want to concrete, it's not just with these, it's with any footing, because if you bottom it out to the right level, then it rains, it just goes all to mush and mud, and you don't want to concrete on that. So I always dig them out, get them something like, then bottom them out and just trim them up, and then you're not dealing with any collapses or anything like that. You know, you can try to explain it, but I can't get it out. You know, I trim them up just before I'm going to do it, then it's all clean and tidy and solid. So now I'm just going to give them a double check before concrete, just on the size, just make sure I'm right. God, it's hard work this trying to explain. And when I'm trying to explain my reasons why, I know in my head, I just get all confused. Oh dear. Set off to a good start this morning, all full of willingness. Just set my laser up to sort my levels out, and it's flat. So, lesson learned, make sure you charge them up the day before you want them. I only charged it up the other day and I barely used it. Well, the other week. I'll find something to do. Right, I've got my camera charged up a bit, so my laser, so what I'm going to do is set the levels so I know how to do this concrete like I showed on the iPad. So what I need to do is get the level against my damp course when my paving slabs go down here. So I think it's a struggle for one person, you know, to get your staff and
hold it where you want it, you know, to see properly, and lift your layers, lift your receiver up and down. So you're always better putting something physical to stand your staff on. So that is the top of my flags. I can just stand that on there. Job's a good one, and that point's never going to move providing I don't knock them bricks. So easy. So right, let's get done. So then, that is the level of my slabs, and I want the top of the brick to be 10 mil above the slabs, and my brick is 65 mil thick. So my top of my concrete wants to be 55 millimeters below this paving slab level. So that means the brick will be, I'll sit on the concrete, and the top of the brick will be 10 mil above the slabs, which is what I want. So if I lift this up 55 mil, it lowers the bottom of the staff, so then that staff will be the top of the concrete. A couple of mil, so that'll do. Right then, so all these 4 pegs are the top of where the concrete wants to be, and then what I did, I've just put a bit of packing in that. Well, I put them blocks in so I don't put so much concrete in, because that one was quite a bit bigger because of roots, and same with that one, but just a bit longer than what I wanted. So I'm now gonna get some concrete mixed, but I'll just show you something where you need to be thinking ahead all the time. So in my previous videos you'll see I got 10 ton of stone delivered, which were there, but it was right down there against the fence. So I shoveled all that away, and this area first, because I knew that I wanted to get my mixer up. And then when I had my gravel come, I've got gravel there and I've got sharp sand in that bag, but I made sure that it was all clear spaces so I could get to everything. You just need to think ahead and just try and organise your materials and what you're going to do, just to try and make your life easy. Oh, got it, pull me in. Right, so I've got the bases in there, and you think, right, you're finished. but you're not. You need to tidy up, which is what people don't do. And I think it's the difference between doing the job and doing the job to the best of your capabilities and trying to promote yourself as a tradesman. And to me, for being a tradesman, there's a lot more than being a good tradesman than just putting the concrete in and levelling it off. I'll tidy these edges up. I'll get rid of that. I'll get rid of that. And this. I'll get rid of that. And this will all be done before I finish and I go in. I'll tidy all this up. And I'll get rid of my bits of wood. And it's all about having that step up and doing the job properly. You see, so many people do the job, they don't finish off, or they leave the place a mess, or it's radios blaring out, or it's all swearing, and it's just not good way to promote yourself as a tradesman and trying to elevate yourself and be a little bit better than somebody just doing the job. It's difficult to explain, but I hope you get the gist. Made somewhere there to tip my barrow out. Look, I'm just washing my mixer out. I haven't filled it full of bricks and that lot with everything splashing all over the place, water splashing all over your brickwork, you know, and all the bricks tumbling around. If you've got gravel, just throw in a couple of shovelfuls of gravel and there's no mess. It just cleans itself without stuff spitting out the drum. Just think about where you're gonna tip what comes out the mixer. I've made that little lagoon in my stone and it'll all just mix in with my stone, but you can always dig an hole and bury it, or just don't tip it on top of the ground because it just looks bad and rough, especially when it dries. Just think about getting rid of your mess. Oh, well, we're not bad in there. I'm 58 and a half and I've had that mixer since I was 25. So it's not doing bad, keeping clean and a good drum and everything. You just need to look after your stuff and keep clean. I don't let people be banging your drum with a shovel, because people only do that when the mixer's all blooming filthy. There's no need. My mixer washed out, my barrow washed out, buckets, and that's all my mess. Just there. There you are, tidied up. I'll tidy at the front. So my next job is, because I've concreted these, I can dig out up there for that drain and get that condensate in up to the back. But I'm going to put some slab on edges, so I need to dig a footing down here and across there. I'm going to put in some 3x2 flags on edge and it'll help retain all this. I'd like some sleepers or something, but I haven't got any, and I've got dozens of 3x2 flags. So that'll go in up there. And then I need to excavate this out and get it all stoned up. And I've got a rectangle base to form, so I need some shuttering, a rectangle concrete base to form, and then 2 concrete plinth upstands sat on that for the air source heat pump. But I've just got this big tree there which I'm conscious of. When I set it out before, it should have just missed it, so fingers crossed it still does. And then I've got to dig out here because the door into the shed's going to be there. This is all going to be paving and the soil's too high yet, so I need to get, you know, another few inches of soil out of there. And then that side's done for now. I then want to go around the other side, connect on my water main up, get on my gas pipe in, gas duct in, and then all that can be tidied up. So plenty to keep me going as yet. I was looking at my Facebook today and one of my memories came up, showed a little digger doing the foundations here when we were digging them out, and it was 2 years today. So I've worked on this every weekend for 2 years, apart from when I've still got an eye issue, but it's under control, apart from 6 weeks when I had my eye issue. And then before doing all the footings, I had the bungalow here which I demolished all on my own. So it's been 2 years of all weekends, and I reckon I could be another 2 years the way I'm going. So it's a big chunk of your life, innit? I've done no hobbies for a couple of years apart from the odd hour and there, but this has, you know, taken over. So, you know, even I've been 2 years, you know, if you said you're another year and a half finishing it, you know, it's like 3.5, 4 years, three and a half. It's a big chunk out of your life, isn't it? It's a big commitment to do it. But anyway, it's getting done and I'm enjoying it. Some days I enjoy it more than others, and some days I take some getting going, but I'm alright once I get going. Right, I'm going to put my stuff away, well, finish putting it away, and go get a well-earned cup of tea, because I feel like I've worked hard today but not achieved a lot. It's been one of them days.